Werewolf 2112 here, back for another little update. I know that I said that my next video was going to be a Denizens of the Marvel Universe on Holocaust. Well, I haven't been able to find out as much information as I wanted to, doing research online and stuff. So I, fortunately, or rather unfortunately, I've got a whole bunch of comic books from the period where he came over from the Age of Apocalypse, which has really been where the barren spot has been in his character bio. So I'm in the process of reading through it to try to put together everything, trying to fill in some gaps, and as soon as I get that done, the Denizens will be done and posted. So that's still on the horizon. I just haven't gotten all the research I need done for the character to give a good character bio. Anyway, I've made some changes to my display now. Not in the Marvel Legends department. Everything is still pretty much the same. You know, nothing new there. But I'm an old school toy collector, and I've been collecting toys for a long time. And I realized that out of my display, I really don't have a whole lot of old school goodness displayed out. My Transformers are all the new school versions because they're fun to play with. And I was sitting there looking at my shelves, and the DCUC has really been frustrating for me. So, you know, if I want Blue Beetle and Captain Cold, I can pick those up anytime I want. But if I want any other characters, they're not readily on my toy shelves, which is a big problem that I have with DCUC, is the availability of the toys. So I took them down and replaced them with a little old school DC goodness. So here is my old school Superpowers collection, finally up on display. Now, I will tell you that not everything in my collection is Superpowers related. Really, there's only three things that aren't, and that is this Penguin, which is a DC Superheroes, one of the first Toy Biz toy lines that ever came out. And it uses the same mold as the Superpowers Penguin, but the difference being that in the knees there's pinholes where the articulation is, and the old Superpowers toys, as you can see, didn't have those. And the Swamp Thing is from a Swamp Thing line, but he essentially has the same kind of gimmick, and so I throw him in with the Superpowers collection because he kind of fits in scale and gimmick and style, and he's a DC character, so it all works out. And his little swamp buggy thing, mine's actually a custom job. My dad found it at I guess he got it in a lot, or in a bag of goodies at a thrift store, and he used Sculpey to sculpt these little Swamp Thing grippers on the front of it. It was originally supposed to be like a Venus flytrap looking thing or something, and there's an orange like seat that goes back here that I don't have. But see, I got Wonder Woman and Parademon facing off. You got Hawkman flying around. You got Steppenwolf and the Green Lantern. Darkseid's piloting his destroyer. Flash, though you can't really tell because he's red, is inside the Delta Probe 1. Firestorm and Mr. Freeze. Batman, Robin, the Batmobile, and the Joker. I don't have the Superman, so I've got Martian Manhunter. Because he does have his cape, I went ahead and put him inside the Supermobile. Aquaman is piloting the Batcopter because I don't have another Batman, and probably won't buy another Batman unless I happen to get one in a lot while I'm trying to complete my collection. Red Tornado and Mantis, the Lex-Thor 7 with Lex Luthor. You got Dr. Fate off there in the back. You got D-Side, who you can't really see, but he's off in one of the sidecars to the Darkside Destroyer here. Then you got Calabac and his Boulder Bomber with Orion, and of course my little collector case that I transport them all around in. This is one of my favorite toy lines, so it needed to be displayed. Very old school. 84 to, I believe, 86 was the running time on this toy line. Came out around the time as the Secret Wars, and as you can see, these are, if you've ever seen the original Secret Wars toys, these are infinitely better sculpted and detailed than those were. And they each had a little battle action feature where you like squeeze the legs, and as you can see there, Mantis' arms go a-flailing. But it's a really cool toy line, and I plan on actually doing reviews of some of these toys because they really are cool. Especially the Batmobile. That's like my all-time favorite toy. So, you know, someday I'll get around to doing a review. Because these toys really deserve it. They're a nice piece of 80s toy history. I mean, with the detail on the sculpting, they're about 4-inch figures, and the figures actually use, you know, unlike today, they actually have cloth capes, which I thought was really cool. One of the reasons why I like the toy line so much. It really adds something to the figures to, you know, have the cloth cape action going on. You know, you don't have plastic capes that are hard to stuff into vehicles and stuff like that. But anyway, just a little look at my new Superpowers display, and I'll be back with that Denizens on Holocaust. But anyway, until then, this is Werewolf 2112 saying, Excelsior.